Okay, in this video we're going to learn how to make a Revit structure that is from a Autodesk Getting Started with Revit guide that was published in 2015, I believe. I will try to attach that PDF to this video if possible. Otherwise you might be able to search for it or Google it. It's called Revit Structure Getting Started Guide, I believe. And I'm going to go through this step by step, making corrections as needed to the packet since it's a little outdated, and I even believe some of the directions in the packet are not written that clearly, so I'll try to be a little more clear than those. Alright, so to get started, File, New, Project, and then choose Architectural Template. So that'll open up a new project. And one of the first things this thing has you do, other than open the file and save it, they want you to go and mess with the levels here. So we're going to do that in our elevations. So I'm going to double click on East Elevation. And they want you to add 2 additional levels. So I'm going to go to Level. And to add the additional levels, pick lines, and then we're going to offset just 10 feet up. And we're going to just select the line below where we want to go. Notice that there's a little dash line that pops up as a preview for your offset. And that's true with anything that you offset in Revit. Click on the Modify button. That's what they mean in the directions. You could also hit Escape twice. I keep my left hand over by the number keys, the A, S, D kind of key row, and I hit the Escape key with my left hand quite often. Okay, now going down here, I'm going to change this level. So you can select you can select on these actual texts to change the level, name, and depth, or you can go up here and change that in the elevation. So I'm going to go up into the properties palette here and change my name and my my height. So I'm going to change that to -16 or 14, -14, and that's feet. And then I'm going to change the name on that to 00 Foundation. Say apply. And yes, we want to rename the corresponding views. Under level 2, I want to do the same thing. I want to change this to -10 feet. And we're going to rename that 01 Lower Level. And say apply. And I could check this off if this bothers you. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Click on that guy. The elevation is going to be at 0 feet, 0 inches, and it's going to be named entry level, 02 entry level. And apply, and if you don't hit apply fast enough, it applies for you. And then the last one here is going to be at 10 feet high, and the name for that's going to be roof, which is actually 03 roof. Okay, so now we have all of our elevations set per the directions. Going from here, we're going to go and start to create our walls. And so to create the walls, it wants us just to click somewhere generally in the bottom corner, and then we're going to work our way around clockwise and kind of create this horseshoe. And these first set of walls, they want us to go to the foundation plan. They want us to click on the wall panel, and they want us to drop down in the type selector down to retaining 12-inch concrete. They also want us to make sure that in the options bar, which is contextual and pops up when we click on the wall command, to go to a height up to level 2, and that we're clicking on where the center line of the wall is going to be. We want it to be chained, so every time we click, the wall continues. So I'm going to go over from the bottom right hand corner, going to the left, type in 40 feet. Make sure you went straight, going like on the x-axis, straight across, and then they want you to go straight up. So now kind of on the y-axis, so to speak, 22 feet, and then going to the right 40, and notice it also inferences where the edge of 40 is. Then to unsnap the chain, hit escape. Now notice we're still in the wall command. Hit escape one more time. Now we are out of the wall command. Now for the rest of this, it actually wants us to then practice drawing to a depth. So we just drew to a height. So to practice the depth, the packet says go to level 1, and then they want you to click on the wall command, use the same settings here, change this to a depth, and we want to go down to a depth of the foundation, and that little pop-up was saying, hey, you might not see what you're drawing since you're drawing below the surface that you're writing on. Center line's good. It wants us to click right here on this bottom corner. Now we're going to draw the other way. It wants us to draw to the right 6 foot 6 inches. Then it wants us to go up 5 feet. And then over 10 foot 6. And then up. And we can snap to inference the center. And then we can snap to the end, hit escape twice. And that's our basic wall. We can go to 3D and take a look at what that looks like. And this is it. And you don't need to see these levels on here in your 3D. If you want to hide them, you can hide and view those elements. Okay, so we are moving right along. I'm going to check where it wants us to go next. We are going to be drawing the topography, and it also wants to create a camera view. So the camera view is a little interesting because it'll create another 3D view for you. However, this 3D view that we're in right now is the one that you should work in. The camera view that we create, we don't really revisit, but you can use it for a rendering later. So just don't confuse the new camera view that pops up with this one that has brackets. So I'm going to go over to level 1, scroll out, and we're going to go up to the View tab, and we're going to drop in a camera. Under 3D views, we have camera. Click and drag that camera over. Click again. You can see the view. Crop it to fit nicely into what you'd want the camera to see. And then back over to lower level 1. You can't see the camera, but what you can do is on this 3D view that the camera made, you can right click and say show camera, and now we can see where the camera is and the new crop region around it. Click off, the camera goes back away. Right click, and let's rename this view to be camera. And then that way you won't forget that this is the good one to work with right here. Alright, now we're going to create that topography. So we're going to go to our site plan. Let's collapse ceiling plans so we don't accidentally click on those. Double click on site plan. In the topography, here's all they want you to do. Go to massing and site, under top of surface, click on that. We're going to make the elevation of our first points that we drop to be 6 inches. And don't confuse that with feet. Go and click through. And I like to click just on the edge of this building here. Later it's going to make a difference that's about -6 inches. And then later, next we're going to be typing in -10 feet. And this one we don't have to be so precise. We just kind of click down the middle of the building. And then we're going to change that to -11 feet. So now the slope's getting a little bit less, and that becomes towards the, I'm going to call the back side of the building, the lower side of the building. Hit the check mark on that. Let's see what that looks like in 3D. So now we have this nice topography associated with our project. However, if you click on it, you can see that dirt is going right through our building, so we need to carve that out, and we're going to use the tool building pad for that. So right back to site. We are going to click off of our material, so nothing's selected. Up here under massing and site, we have building pad. Click on building pad, and we're going to draw a rectangle from this corner to this corner. So it's on the outside corner of our building to the outside corner. Notice that the little square pops up to show you that you are snapping correctly. Then we're going to do pick lines, and let's pick this line and this line right here. And then let's use this corner trim tool to select the good edges that we like. Notice I'm not clicking on the bad edge that we want to go away. And then we hit the check mark on that. Let's go back to 3D and see what we did. We carved out a building pad right here that rests and cut through the topography automatically for us. So that's real nice. Now let's see where we're at. So we've done that. We have some exterior walls to add on top of our concrete walls. So let's save our progress. And under the lower level, we can draw some walls that go all the way up. And let's see what order they want us to do this here. They want us to start with the shorter walls on top of the entry level. So to give you a frame of reference, we're going to be drawing some shorter walls that rest on top of the larger concrete ones, and then later we're going to draw some taller walls that rest on top of the shorter walls. So let's go to entry level 2. Now we don't see anything in entry level 2. That's okay. Make sure you have nothing selected. on your screen, nothing selected, so click off of everything. We see the properties for this floor plan of entry level 2. Scroll down under Underlay. Instead of saying none, you want to see the foundation or lower level 1. If we see lower level 1 and apply, you'll see that we see kind of the boundary of everything. If we go down to the foundation, we see a little bit more, and that's what I want. So I'm going to keep Underlay, Range Base, Foundation for right now. And then I'm going to go up to Architecture, and I'm going to click on Wall, and it wants us to do a generic 6-inch wall, if I'm not mistaken. And we are going to go up to a height of the roof, and we want to do the finish face interior, or core face interior they say in the packet. With a generic wall it doesn't matter because it's all one layer. If you don't know what I mean, you'll find out later. Now if you draw clockwise in Revit, then when you click on the inside of a wall, it'll be drawing correctly. If you draw counterclockwise, the inside becomes the outside, and that's no good. So you want to draw to the inside. We're going to snap in here, snap in here, snap in here, hit escape twice. Now we're going to go to lower level, and we're going to have the same settings, but it's going to go up to the roof, so it's going to become taller since we're drawing from a lower level. We're going to click on wall, generic 6, height, up to the roof, interior, chain, everything else is good. We're drawing clockwise, so let's start at the top. Snap, snap, snap. Make sure it stacks right on top of that concrete so it's structurally sound. Snap, hit escape twice. Let's check out our work in 3D. Beautiful. This is what your work should look like. Okay, let's go and see what's next on the packet. We need to add a roof. So we're going to go to the roof plan. So you might have guessed it, we need to do our underlay for the roof plan. Let's just do entry level 2. Now we can see our walls. Notice they're kind of grayed out. You can't select them, but you can snap to them, which is cool. Then we're going to do roof by footprint. With roof by footprint, we can do a pick lines command or a pick walls command. And I believe they really just want you to do the line command, not even a pick lines command. Or they want to do pick walls with the slope. Okay, so they want us to just do a line command, which is fine. So I'm going to click on line, and there's define slope is checked. Chains on, it doesn't have to be on, to be honest, but it doesn't cause any harm. Click once in the corner. Inference, so hover on this edge, inference it, and then come down and click. Hit escape twice, and then we're going to do the pick walls command. We're going to change our overhang to be 3 feet. And then we're going to click on the outside edge, so that way our overhang comes all the way on the outside. And I made a mistake. I should have had, I'm going to hit escape twice, I should have had these lines take off their slope. So I'm going to highlight them like this, and then I'm going to uncheck define slope, check back off them. Use the corner tool to connect everything, and then hit the check mark. Now when we go to 3D, we're going to see a really drastic roof pitch. So this is not what we want, but this is what the packet says. They want us to then click on the roof, and under properties you can change the slope. Now it's going to be a 112 slope, which is pretty shallow. You can't have a asphalt shingle roof at a 112. 412 is the minimum by building code, and 212 if you have double underlayment. That's the code for most places, at least in the Midwest. So I'm going to click on 1 inch, say apply, and that's the shortcut to get to 1/12, and say apply. Now our roof drops down to a nice shallow slope towards the one edge that has no overhang. Now from here, I'm going to go through and let's see, create a floor, which is next. So we need to go over to level 1. So we're going to go to lower level 1 plan, and on this plan they want us to do pick lines method with 0 offset. So I'm going to go through to floor, do a generic 12, pick lines command, no offset, pick this line, pick this line, just pick an inside, I believe all the way around. Now with your sketches, you want to make sure that you have no overlaps, and that you have no gaps, and that you have no double stacked lines, otherwise it will not work. So I'm going to zoom in here and click on the two good edges, zoom out, hit the check mark, say no in this instance, and now we have one floor. On the level 2 plan, I believe they want our floor to be a little bit different, so it's not going to follow the same profile. So we're going to go to entry level 2. And on the entry level 2, they want us to just use the line command, and they have some dimensions on here on where they want us to click, starting in the bottom left corner. So I'm going to go to floor, and I'm using the line command, and I'm in the bottom left corner. I'm going to click once to snap into that corner. 2 is going to be up here, top left corner, and then to the right to get to number 3, we're going to go 36 feet. So 36 feet, enter, and then we go straight down, and they want us to go down 16 foot 6 inches, and then they want us to go to the right 25 feet, so it's going to stick out of the building, 25 feet. Then they want us to come down, so it's like a balcony that's going to stick out of the building. It's going to have kind of a cool look. Then we go 25 feet, 4 foot 6, so 4 foot 6 inches down, and then I believe we just snap right back in, and then we hit the check mark, and once again we say no. And let's see what this looks like in 3D. So there we go, kind of like a tongue sticking out. Alright, now we go back 3D, we look at it. So in 3D they want us to just acknowledge that when you click on this wall here that you can see through it. If you want to temporarily hide something, you can hit the sunglasses right down here and say hide element or isolate element. So hide element would hide it, isolate would hide everything else except for it. And then if you want to reset that, you should be able to just click right back on the sunglasses and say reset, and then we're all good. Now we add interior walls. So we're going to go to the lower level and entry level in this part of the activity. Start with the lower level, so we're going to go over to lower level, and in lower level we go to architecture tab, build panel wall, and the type of wall they want is still the generic 6, so that's easy. And then we're going to select up to a height of entry level, and we are going to be clicking on wall center lines, so that's all good. And they want chain unselected here in this case, and they want one wall to be 26 feet in, and then the rest you can kind of guess. So if I hover right here and then move, it starts to reference that center of that wall 26 feet over, and then they want us to go all the way down, straight down 90 degrees. Hit escape, click on line again. Probably don't have to hit escape this time because there's no chain on. And then we just kind of box out a generic area. So I'm going to go like 9 feet, and then I'm going to go maybe like 7 feet. And my apologies, but they really don't specify dimensions here in this packet, so they kind of want you to just eyeball this for right now. And I can tell you right now I'm going to be making this a little bit bigger, change a little bit. I'm going to take my arrow keys, just nudge this over, and then curious where this lands. That's going to actually be okay. Alright, so I have this kind of basic shape. Once again, the only thing that they ask for is that this is 26 feet over away from here. If you had a hard time with that before, you can also inference it like this. The thing that's blue is the thing that moves when you update this dimension. Notice that this is 26 foot 3 inches. That's because it's referencing the center of this wall to the center of this wall. You can also jump that over to the inside edge if you so chose to do. Alright, now going down, the split command. So we are going to click on this wall here. Once we click on that wall, we have some more commands that pop up. So I can click on split element, and I can take this like X-Acto knife and just slice this wall right here, hit escape. a couple times, and then we can use the corner tool and we can click on the good side, good side, good side, good side to get rid of that wall. So now we have a hallway. Hit escape a couple times. Now we're going to go up to entry level 2, and in entry level 2 we are going to make sure that we have underlay on, so that way we can see the wall below. And then we're going to place walls to create some rooms without any real dimensions. So we're going to make a big box and then a little box. And so I'm going to click on Architecture tab, Wall, and we're going to create basically a wall like right over here, over this guy. And I'm going to change this to core center line. I think they want it to be like about that. And then kind of like leave an awkward amount of space at the bottom. And then we have one more. So if I right click, repeat wall, it's another way to get what you want. Hit escape. Okay, so now we have like this basic shape, and they want us to save. Then we're going to start adding doors. So we save that. Alright, to add doors, first of all, this version of Revit that I'm working with has gotten rid of bifold doors, so you need to go to a website kind of like library.smartbim.com or Revit City. It's another great one. So these you just like make an account for, and then you click on the you just search. So I just search doors. First things that came up are bifold panel doors, and you just can download them by clicking on them and just say download. So you just would click on the door itself and then say download, and then when they download, they come in a zip folder, and what you just do then is double click on the zip folder, right click on the zip folder when it downloads and say extract all. And to extract all, what you would do is just say extract, and that pulls open a folder kind of like this. And then what you would do from there is you can either drag this file into Revit, or you can double click on it. I'm going to show you the double click method. It's not as fast, but I think it works most frequently. So you double click on it, say upgrade the model. You can see this family file was made in 2013, the bifold door. And so this is it. And then we say load into project and close. So it's going to close this and load into your project. If you had anything to customize on the door, you could do it right here. So I'm going to load into project and close, and I'm going to load it into this demo file. And now I have these doors that are ready to go in. We can see them up here in the type selector. If I go to my lower level and I go to door, then I can see it right here. And I can go and place a door right here, place a door right here, and to be honest, the packet's going to start to call for like particular doors and particular windows. And besides the bifold door, because of how it fits in this hallway, use whatever door you want for right now, and you can add or change it later. We're just trying to get about the right amount of doors and windows that the packet calls for. Once again, the type of door and window doesn't matter so much to me right now. Alright, so that is kind of how you load in the door. They want you to add in some exterior doors. So there's other ways you can load in doors, but once again, Revit didn't have bifolds, so you have to download those. So I'm going to go to Insert tab and then say Load Family, and I'm going to choose Doors. And then under Residential, there's even more doors. These ones, the curtain wall ones, won't load in very nicely unless you have a nice curtain wall to plug them into, which I have a video on if you would like to see that. Residential, and then under Residential, there's some exterior doors right here. And so there's like a double glass door I think that we're going to use. So I'm going to open that, and I'm going to choose one that's like maybe like a 5 foot by 7 foot. Say okay. And I'm not going to use it right now, I just know I want it. And then I'm going to go to Load Family, and I'm also going to choose a single entry. I like this one right here, so I'm going to choose that, say open, and let's make that 3 foot by 6 foot 8. And that door I'm going to throw in right now. This one right here that I just brought in, I'm going to throw this right here. And in this project, yeah, swings in. Residential doors swing in, commercial swing out typically, although this project's kind of a mix of, they ask for a couple different things. If you want to change the swing of your door, you can press spacebar and then it cycles through. So spacebar flips the swing around. And we need some regular doors too, which we'll use the ones that Revit just has pre-made. Let's see, looks like it wants to start in level 2. So this door here, I'm going to wait on. I'm going to just keep it for right now, but looks like it wants me to be in level 2 and throw on that same kind of door. I'll throw the same one right on top of the other one. If you don't want to see the floor below anymore, you can hide that with the underlay. So hit escape a couple times in this view, and then under underlay, make this say none, make it a little bit less confusing. In the packet, they keep underlay on. And then I'm going to go to door, make this the one the double, and they want us to throw that kind of right over here. And if it helps you with like referencing where to go, you can put underlay back on. So escape a couple more times, underlay, and we'll just look down to level 1. Okay, so that's about where it landed. And then they want some doors here and here. So we'll just do some regular doors that come in, and I think like a 3480 should be fine. It's like a residential house. That might be into a closet or a bathroom. And then this one here, I like to hug the wall a little bit more. Make sure you leave room for a door knob so it doesn't, or handle, so it doesn't smash into the door. Escape a couple times. And now let's see, they want a door in the first floor at the end of the hallway. So let's go down to lower level 1. Door, and same kind of door, just the regular single flush is cool. They want to swing this way at the end of the hallway, and then they want one going into this room, spacebar, kind of like right about here, and the bifolds. I'm gonna hit escape. Looks like this is also going to be a little bit further down based on these plans. I'm going to pop this guy down a little bit, maybe move this up a little bit. Just using the arrow keys to nudge that. Alright, let's save our project, and then we'll add some windows. So this is step 13, adding windows. So to add windows, they want us to go up to the build panel, window, tag on placement. We're talking about tagging windows already. Do we skip something? No, we didn't skip anything. Okay. So basically we're going to go up to, let's go up to entry level. No, they want south elevation. Okay. Come on, I got to read here. So south elevation. So here we are in south elevation. They want us to throw on some windows right into the concrete near the top. They want a casement window with trim. Once again, if we can't find exactly it, that's totally fine. So we're going to click on window. Up here, we're going to go to load family. And then we're going to go up and up to windows. It's at the bottom. And then we want casement, window, casements, double casements, all different kinds here. If they don't have what you want, you can also download one. I think this is fine. I'm going to do a casement like this and say open. And then they have all different sizes. I think they want like a 3 foot by 3 foot casement. And now that we have that, we're going to put them approximately near the top here. So I'm going to zoom in. And they want it like pretty close. So one here. and then one here. The reason we're putting these in elevation is because Revit by default will like put the sill heights all at the same height in plan, which usually is pretty good unless you want them to be elevated. Then in that case, what you really could do is just tell it what you want the sill height to be at, and it'll adjust that for you. Now let's check out where these landed in plan under lower level. We can see that these windows are inside this room, which is about what they want, and that they're going to be opening up that way. Let's see if they want us to do anything else. They want us to throw some more windows on the back wall on the back plan. If you can't see these windows in this plan here, what you have to do is go up to your view depth, extents view range here, and you can change that to like 7'6" or a different dimension to make sure that we're slicing through, that we can see these windows, and they would say okay and apply. So you can mess with that if you can't see these in the lower level. An entry level, we want to throw on some windows over here, like in this back, let's call it a bedroom. So I'm going to go to window, and we can use the same windows, that's fine, or we can change them to like a double hung or anything else that we want to do. Let's see what they ask for. They want 36 by 72, so they want it to be width by height, so they want it to be higher. So we're going to go load family. Windows should always be specified, I believe, by width and then by height. So if we do casement, let's see, that's kind of cool. We'll do this one here. Doesn't matter what the packet says. And then 72 would be 6 foot, so 3 foot. Okay, so this one doesn't have exactly that, but we can do 3'5" by 6. That's totally fine. So we're going to click on that. Those are going to load in, and then we're going to place those along this wall. And so we just go 1, 2, 3, hit escape a couple times. We're going to then do the aligned dimension. So if we go to annotate, we can then go to aligned and say, okay, from the center of this wall to the center of this window, center of that window, and center of that window, and to the wall, we can click. And then we can say escape, escape, select them, click on equal, and now they're all equal spacing. Then the packet asks for you to delete the actual dimensions, but keep the constraints, and then to mess with the wall here, so that way you can see that they all kind of move uniformly, right? It keeps that equal spacing. So I can delete this. It says, hey, there's still a constraint. Don't say unconstrained, just say okay. Once you know the constraint still exists, and then when you move this, it kind of updates automatically. So that's kind of cool. It's a very nice technique to know about. It saves you a little bit of division and some math. And then we're going to save our project file. And next we're going to add a curtain wall. We're going to say save. So now that we have these windows and doors set up, we need to go to edit panel. Oh, it looks like I might have missed a door. No, I didn't miss a door. The one under lower level 1, let's delete this door out. Looks like that's not supposed to go there. Alright, lower level 1. We are going to zoom in over here on this east wall here, and it wants us to use a split command just above a door. So I was supposed to place a double swing door, or a double door right there. So let's go up to architecture, door, and I missed this one here. I'm supposed to put that right here. So I click, hit escape, click on the wall, split command, and they want us to split it like right here, just right above the door. Now, if I click on this wall, well, maybe that did not work. Let's try that again. Split, select the wall right here. There we go. Alright, so now this wall is separate from this one here. And now they want us to select these walls. With control, we're going to select both of them, and we're going to change that into a curtain wall. So I'm going to click down here, scroll all the way down, choose curtain wall, storefront that has the mullions on there for you, and we're going to see what that looks like in 3D. So now we have this curtain wall right here, and with this curtain wall, they want us to like change one wall here. So they want us to edit type, duplicate. You can call it what do they want us to call it, like 4 foot by 4 foot house or something like that. House 4 foot by 4 foot. So that's fine. So house 4 foot by 4 foot. Whoa. Looks like I hit enter. Rename that 4 by 4. Okay. And the spacing then, we're going to change our vertical grid to 4 foot, and your horizontal also 4 foot. And then say OK. And now that updates, and then they want us to do a property, match property. Say, okay, grab everything that we know from this one and apply it to this one. And it changes it and updates it for you. The other way you could have done that is clicked on it and changed it in the type selector. That's another way to change that. Say save. Now we have to attach the walls to the roof. In the packet, they tell you to do something wrong. They say go to floor plan. We're not going to do that. Instead, in 3D, we're just going to click right here and zoom in and highlight everything. Go to filter, check none, just check the walls, say OK, and then you can say attach top base and select the top of the roof. And then it's going to say, hey, there's one mullion that's going to delete. You can say, yeah, delete that. And then now everything's attached to the roof. If you want to see this in shaded, click on the view cube, go to shaded, and now we can see that in shaded. All right. They want us to also turn shadows on right at the end of this step. Shadows is right down here, which says shadows off, turn shadows on. So now we have our shadows on. Save it one more time. Modifying the entry deck is next. So we're going to open up entry level 2. With entry level 2 on, they want us to select the floor. So here's the floor. And let's see, hover over the wall and press tab 2 times to select the floor. So if you want to see how that works, if I'm hovering on this wall, if I hit tab and then tab and I click, you can see I got the floor that way as well. That sometimes is hard to select the floor, so that's a good way to do it when there's a lot of other things in the way. And we're going to click on edit boundary, and we are going to edit this boundary line for the floor. It wants us to go on the north side of the model and click on the north wall line, draw a vertical sketch line going up. So they want us basically to continue this going straight up through this floor. So I'm going to click on the line command, and right here I'm just going to go up. They want us to go up 11 feet. And then they want us to go hit escape. And then they want us to go 6 inches. Let's see. Kind of poorly written here. Okay, so this is actually not as bad as what they're trying to say. So basically what they want us to do is just wrap around this door. And so we're just going to go up 6 inches, and then we're going to go over to the end. And they want us to go basically all the way to the end of the thickness of this wall. And they want us to go up 3 foot 6 inches. Hit enter. And then they want us to connect. Hit escape a couple times. And then here they want us to draw another line going up and over. And then we need to get rid of this line here. So I'm going to use the split command right here. And then we're going to do a corner tool here and here and here and here. Make sure you click on the good edges. And then from there, now we have this like flowing deck that comes out. Hit the check mark and say no. And there we go. Let's see what that looks like in 3D. Now we have this floor that kind of pops out. That goes under the door, which is good. All right. Now, let's see what's next. Wall, concrete retaining wall, core face interior. along that edge. Okay, so this next one is not entirely like very accurate, but we just have to place it, and they want us to do a concrete retaining wall. So I'm going to go to Architecture, Wall tab, drop that down to concrete retaining at the bottom, and then from here they want us to do the, let's see, finished face interior, core face interior. So drop that down, core face interior, and I think we want to go to height of the roof is fine for right now, but we're gonna, I think, change that. What do they want us to do? Base constraint, yeah, we're just gonna change it after. So we're just gonna kind of eyeball this thing a little bit to the left of this wall here, and we're gonna come over, and it's gonna go about to where the door swings. Hit escape, let's go to 3D, click on that wall, we're gonna change its properties. So here, the base constraint, we're gonna choose foundation, and then the top constraint, we can choose roof, and apply, and then that's going to stay like that for right now. And now we're going to go and add in a sloped floor, which is kind of cool. So in order to add a sloped floor, we're going to do our own sketch for another floor. So we're going to go to entry level, and then we're going to basically add in a little slope right here down to the ground. And so we're going to go to floor, and with the floor command, they want us to draw north wall moving counterclockwise, sketch the complete deck as previously shown, the boundary. I'm just seeing if there's any extra. Oh, I see. Okay, so I had messed up. Let's hit the X on this floor sketch, edit boundary, click this guy. We're just going to move this thing up. Actually, I'm curious, maybe this was the edge. How far was that supposed to be? My apologies. So we're going to edit the first floor. Ah, so they had changed it. Just be some kind of like, basically in line with like this edge here. So I don't even need a specific dimension, they just want us to ballpark that. And then from there, we're going to have this sloped floor start. So I'm going to check this one off, say no. Alright, now we're good to begin. So I'm going to go to floor, and now I'm going to click on my tool here, click up, over, down, click, 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 and then corner tool. Connect these guys. Okay, now I have this, but now we're going to set a slope arrow. Slope arrow from the middle, going up. And this this guy right here, they want us to change the height offset to -1, and you can adjust that later if you want. Apply, check it, say no. And let's see what that looks like in 3D. And so this is why we had our ground set to -6 inches right away. So now you can see that we have our ramp that goes up to our structure, so that's all good. Save that. And then we are going to add stairs and railings next. And if the railings crash Revit for you, just avoid the railings. I know it happens from time to time, but we're going to keep moving forward here. So let's see, I'm going to open up my lower level floor plan. And in the lower level floor plan, I'm going to click on stair, and I'm just going to kind of make it randomly for right now. So stair. And we're just going to click. It's going to run in the center from lower level and just straight, and then hit the check mark. That creates stairs going up. And then what we're going to do here is go to entry level 2, and we're going to edit the floor profile. So entry level 2, and we're going to notch in these stairs to fit nicely. So here's the floor profile. We're going to say edit boundary. It wants us to make a little box right here for the stairs. And it wants us to do that by clicking on this corner right here and going 6 feet. And then we want to go up 3 foot 4 inches, which is the width of those stairs, and then over, hit escape twice. Take this little guy, snap it right on, and then hit the check, say no. And then now with these stairs, we can go and we can place these stairs right on right here. And I know it touches the corner, but that's fine. Okay, so then that's the stairs. And that takes us on to past page 48. Now we are dealing with these railings, and once again, if the railings crash Revit for you, just avoid them. I know that can happen. Alright, so the railing tool is right up here. It's really not too bad. They want us to create some railings that exist basically on the balcony. So we're going to go to railing, and you can change the type of your railing. So you could do like glass panel. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go from here to here. I like chain on typically. I'm going to hit escape, hit the check mark. Let's see what that looks like in 3D. Alright, cool. So we have this like glass railing. And then, let's see. Until the resulting railing is 10 feet. Oh, they want us to do a little offset of 4 inches. So I'm going to go back to entry level 2. Take that railing, delete it, and do the railing again. But this time we're going to do an offset of 4 inches. So that way it's not right on the edge. We can do pick lines, pick here, and let's find out if they want us to continue that. Railing, modify and select the angled railing. Since just past the retaining wall, select the vertical railing, drag the lower endpoint. The result is 10 feet. Alright, let's see. Okay. So they want us to do basically a railing just shy then. So hit escape a couple times. Whoops. Delete that. Select this line. They want us to drag this. So it's like, I think about 10 feet is what they said. I don't think it has to be 10 feet. I think they just want it to overlap a little bit onto the cement. And then they want the other railing to be essentially in line right here, going to the end. Escape. And then we can check that off. Must be one continued sketch. So we have to do this as 2 separate sketches. So just say continue, hit escape, click, my apologies on this, check off, and then from here we're going to do the railing again. And we should be able to, once again, have an offset of 4 inches. You do pick lines, pick this guy, make sure it's on the inside, drag this, so it's kind of shallow, just overlapping, and then we should be good there. Let's check it out in 3D. Now this railing here, we have to edit and give it a slope. And so how do we do that again? Flip that over. It should be able to attach, right? We don't want it floating like that. Pick new host, pick that floor, there we go. Now our railing drops down onto that, so that's all good. I'm going to say save, and then we need to go to add it to the balcony, so we need to go to entry level 2 again, and whatever kind of family file of railing you pick, you should stay with. So I'm going to choose railing, I'm going to keep with the glass one, and I'm going to do that 4-inch offset, and I'm going to do pick lines. I'm going to go in here, 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 and then I need to take these guys and go more shallow with them. And this one here, much more. And so that should be good. Check that off. And then let's see what else we have. There's going to be some kind of railing on the inside. Okay, so I kind of got ahead of myself and I already fixed for step 10. I had fixed this part. They addressed that a little bit later in the packet. They want a railing, I believe, kind of around the stairs on the inside. Yeah, so right here along the stairs they want a railing. So we're going to do the same thing. We put a railing, do that offset of 4 inches, and pick lines. Pick this guy towards the inside, pick this one over here, and pick this one over here, and then we do a corner tool of here to here. And oh, it's not going to let us do this, right? Because it's going to be, has to be connected. So we can hit escape twice, delete this one, say check, and then we can add one more railing. So railing and glass panel, 4 inches. Pick lines, go to the inside, and check that off. Click off, and then say save. Once again, if Revit's crashing, just avoid the railings. Alright, cool. So now that looks pretty good. Now from here, let's go back to entry level. And they want us to modify the roof to kind of wing over the retaining wall that we did off that balcony. So to modify the roof, we just go to our roof plan, and then we want to edit the footprint of the roof. So here's the roof. Edit footprint. And what they want to do is have us use a split command right about here. So I'm going to click on split, split that right about here, and then take this guy, and they want us to kind of just drag that, whoops, delete that, and then we can just click and draw a new line just going up and over, yeah, right over here. And then we can hit escape, and then a new line going up, and I should really uncheck define slope, so I selected both lines, uncheck define slope, and we'll use the corner tool of here to here. Check that off. And let's see, what else do we have? Then we do the move command 2 feet to the north. So this guy, pick this guy, move command, click and go up 2 feet, enter, unjoin, and I think that's everything. As long as the sketch is good, we need to just corner that. That's cornered. This is cornered. Check that off. Go to 3D. Now we have this extension that's over. And then for the retaining wall, we click on that, attach top base, click on the roof, and now that's all the way up. Then we save this. Okay. So we've gotten to some door and window schedules. So I'll do that in a separate part, in a separate video, but this will get you all the way to the beginning of step 20 in the packet, and that will be the end of the first part here that I do today. Alright, don't forget to save and subscribe if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you all later.